Ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Sportsden. I am Ryan Eastman, and I'll be flying solo tonight in the booth. I'm up here in beautiful Alaska, where the Lorraine Firestorm will be taking on the Alaska Arctics. Currently, both teams are below 500, and both very desperate for a win to get the momentum going. It's never too early to start thinking about the playoff picture, and right now both of the teams are on the outside looking in. And for the Arctics, they have a tough road ahead of them, given their division is potentially one of the strongest in the league. I would not be surprised if we see 4 teams with winning records in this division, and potentially one of them not making the playoffs despite a winning record. Key matchups tonight I'm looking forward to are the small forward and point guard positions. On the small forward side, we have the rookie Magnano for the Lorraine Firestorm going up against fourth-year player Otis Najak. Interesting to see how the rookie manages to match up against the rising star. Last year he spent a lot of the time on the bench, but last half of the season when he came out into the starting role, he really dominated and became known as their main scorer besides Cliff Matthews and Kellendine. And for the point guard position, I'm interested to see how Sundos matches up against Cliff Matthews. Matthews known for his explosive scoring from the perimeter. How Sundos will be able to match up against him on that perimeter is going to be very interesting and very key for how Lorraine tries to dissect Alaska's game. We'll have to see how the teams try and adjust to each other. Obviously, something's not working for both of them given their record, and they need to turn it around here. And let's go ahead and get started. And we're getting ready for the tip-off now. Melbourne going up against Oga Nakayu. Alaska with the ball to start. Veteran Slade on the perimeter. Passing over to Constantitis. Over to Najak. Passing back over to Matthews. Gets a little screen. Drives to the post, but passes back out to Slade. Only a few seconds left on the shot clock for Slade. He's going to have to take a shot soon. No good with the last second shot. Melbourne grabs the rebound, and Sundos with the ball. Sundos seems to be drawing up a play and gets a screen. Gets out in the paint, back up to Adi Morales. Adi Morales for 3. Very surprising to see him take a 3. He's a bit of an all-rounder, but he makes it 3-0 Lorraine with only a minute gone in the first quarter. Nice little move. Najak knocks over his defender, passes over to Caillou. Caillou blocked, but Arctics retain possession of the ball. Melbourne, nice defense on her part, forcing Najak to pass the ball. She may have actually got a paw on it the first time, but she ends up getting the big block out of bounds. Quick pass over to Slade. Slade fouled by Plushpaw. They get to go to the line for 2. Interesting to see how the veteran Slade is fitting into this Alaska roster now. Last season they brought in Kellendine, and this season they retained Cliff Matthews. So for a while they had been running a 3-guard set with Sierra, Matthews, and Slade, and now they've kind of inserted Kellendine into the mix once they lost Sierra. But now it seems with bringing in Najak, they've gone back to kind of a 2-guard with a swing playing the power small forward position. Slade makes the first. Normally very accurate from the free throw line. See if he converts the second and brings it back to a 1-point game. And good. With only a minute gone, it's 3-2. Lorraine with the lead. Sundos passing over to Melbourne. Over to Magnano. Sundos had an open lane to the basket, but decides to go for a pump fake instead. Over to Adi. Adi back to Plushpaw at the top of the perimeter. Gets the screen. Gets blocked. 1 second left on the shot clock. Great defense there. Very smart play. They have no time really to take a shot. They're going to have to pass it in and take a shot right away. Adi blocked. Another great block already. That's 3 blocks in the first minute and a half so far of play. It looked like Constantitis on the block there for both of them. He's playing tonight instead of Fuafua, who is still nursing an injury. See Matthews on the perimeter. Dangerous pass over to Slade on the perimeter. Goes for three, no good. Rims out. Sundos, quick pass over to Magnano. Magnano, 17-footer is good. 5-2, Lorraine, 3-point lead. It's going to be interesting to see how Magnano plays tonight, if she's going to try and be the offensive fire of the Firestorm. Nice shot there. Otis with the good shot. Back over to Adi. Magnano on the perimeter. Going back to Sundos. Looks like she's drawing up a screen. Passing back over to Adi inside the paint. Back over to the veteran Melbourne. And Plushpaw forced to take a last-second shot. No good. Najak with the rebound. Matthews goes for a little pump fake. Plushpaw doesn't bite, though. But he does go for a double team, leaving Matthews open for a three. And he nails it. Unfortunately, you can't leave the Lynx open like that. He will nail that every time. Sundos passing over to Plushpaw. Plushpaw trying to back down into the post, but no good. Does a little spin around from about 10 feet out. Misses. Offensive rebound almost wrapped up, but the Alaska manages to get a hold of it. Jack with the ball at the perimeter gets a nice little screen, but loses the ball a little bit. Can't use the screen to his advantage. Now Slade calling for the screen. Passing over to Okayu. Okayu, long two from the top of the key. Very edge of his range. He's normally known for his post play, but he got a little bit open. Manages to get that convert. 4-point lead for Alaska, 9-5. 8 minutes and some change left in the first quarter. Magnano trying to back down to the post. Gets into the paint. No good, though, off the right iron. And rebounded by Slade. A little bit of a drought for the Firestorm, over 2 minutes without a bucket. Constantitis gets into the post, but no good. Alaska's quick on defense, all 5 back before even Firestorm get down there. Sundos pass up to Melbourne. Melbourne from the key, no good. Slade bringing the ball up the court. Handing it back over to Matthews for the play. Nice little spin move. Forces the defense to collapse, leaving Najak open on the right. Nice little step-in jumper there from him. Extends the lead to 6 for Alaska. Sundos gets a nice little screen, drives into the paint. Dangerous pass to Melbourne, back up to Adi Morales. And now Magnano trying to back down the post again. Najak is not giving up any ground. She goes for the little 8-footer, and it gets the shooter's roll and falls in. She has a little bit of a height advantage over Najak, about 2 inches, so it'll be interesting to see if she continues this post play. We see Matthews just driving in on his own. Nice little layup from him. Answers back. And Sundos a little quiet on offense so far, being a bit of a passer. Morales on the perimeter. Passing over to Magnano. Sundos gets the screen from Magnano. Or sorry, Morales. Morales for another 3. No good. He was wide open off the screen. A nice little give and go. Matthews draws the foul on Magnano. No good on the layup, though. He has the line for 2. Interesting to see him driving the paint. Normally he is a much better perimeter shooter, but maybe he's trying to exploit Lorraine's post defense. Makes the first. Biggest lead of the quarter so far, 7 points for Alaska. Lorraine themselves have a little bit of an interesting lineup. They have Leonardo De Hugo on the bench this game. Interesting to see how he plays once he comes in. He's the veteran for Lorraine as well. Matthews misses the second. Magnano for a quick 3. brings, oh, actually it was only a 2. Paul on the line. Could have brought it to a 4-point game, but stuck at a 5. Matthews on the perimeter. Quick pass over to Najak. Najak drives into the post. Rolls around for a little while, but falls in. That's using some speed. Bad-eared Fox gets down in the paint. Gets around his defender. Nice little play from him. And we see Sundos, nice little spin move. Pass over to Melbourne. Melbourne goes up, draws the foul. I wish she had actually taken the shot there. Sundos had a pretty open shot. That nice little spin move completely broke away from the defender. Dangerous pass over to Melbourne, but then again with the 7'3" Mink, it's kind of hard to miss. And we'll see Melbourne go to the line. She's not the best from the free throw line, so maybe a good idea to foul her. We'll see how she does tonight. And no good on the first. And we're seeing some substitutions come in now. We see Calendine coming off the bench, and DeHugo as well. Arguably, both teams have very strong sixthers this year if they're going to continue playing Calendine in the 6th and DeHugo in the 6th. Potentially sixthfer of the year on the court now. You see Melbourne going for a second, gets it to fall, brings it to a 6-point game, and Alaska decides to call timeout. Possibly get the play set up that they want to run now that they've switched in a new point guard. Interesting game so far. We've seen from Lorraine, Adi Morales taking a 3. Very unusual for him, I'd say, but given how open he was, I can't blame him. He is a bit of an all-rounder. I think also it may be in part due to their acquisition of Edwin Griga, who unretired this year. He is a power forward, small forward who's able to shoot the 3, so they possibly have added some plays to their raw rotation that take into account his three-point ability. So keep an eye out for what kind of plays they call once he's on the floor. As for Alaska, we see a lot of the scoring going through Najak right now. They have the sophomore Okayu down anchoring the post. He's a bit more of a defensive player, so I'm not expecting a ton of offense from him. And with Fuafua out with an injury, I think it's going to come down to their 3 perimeter players, Matthew, Slade, and Najak, and a little bit of Kellendine for Alaska to get done tonight. We see Alaska with the ball. Passing over to Kellendine. McGarth on the perimeter. Steps out of bounds. Paul slips on the line, trying to get to the perimeter. Just lost track of where he was. Silly unforced turnover on his part. And Sundos bringing the ball up the court. Getting the screen. Gets down to the paint. Passes back up to St. Peter. St. Peter over to Morales for another 3. Makes this one. He's 2 for 3 tonight from the three-point range. Doing a little bit of everything, apparently. Brings it back to a 3-point game, and we see Kellendine with a nice little screen. McGarth open for 3. Off the left sidearm, though. DeHugo manages to get that rebound despite the height disadvantage. Sundos tries to get a little screen, forces way back towards the half-court line. Has to pass to DeHugo. Challenger now with the ball, but stripped. Slade going on a 3-on-2 fast break. Has to slow down there for the defense. Passing up to McGarth and up to Kellendine again at the perimeter. Kellendine on in the woods. Gets a little screen. Passing back over to McGarth. McGarth back to Najak from the woods. Looked like he was going to get the shooter's roll, but it bounces out. DeHugo with another rebound. DeHugo over to Sundos. Back to Adi Morales. He had a height advantage, but St. Peter going for 3 now. No good. Challenger with the good offensive rebound. Back up to Sundos. Now over to St. Peter and DeHugo at the perimeter. Adi back over to St. Peter. A lot of passing. Nice screen. Knocks down the defender. Sundos forced to pick up the ball, though. Could not drive. Almost stolen Ball out of bounds. Firestorm retained possession. Slade, the veteran, almost got both paws on that. Couldn't corral it in, though, and it just goes out of bounds. If he had gotten a hold of that, that would have been a dangerous fast break. And we see the bench coming out now for both teams. Bates with the ball. Passing up to DeHugo as the shot clock was winding down. No good on the three. Alaska still 16. Lorraine 13. Both teams on a bit of a scoring drought now. Only 3 points in the last 3 minutes, and that was with Adi Morales' 3. Nice little screen, getting down to the paint. A little half spin move over to Barakaw. Barakaw gets into the paint. No good. Gets the offensive rebound. Fouled by DeHugo. DeHugo was forced to foul there. He had a height disadvantage, and she had the advantage in the post play there. We'll see how the rookie does from the line. The veteran's going to put the pressure on the rookie, see if she can extend the lead a little bit. Just confirming stat-wise, Adi Morales, 18 for 54 from three-point normally. He's made 2 tonight, shooting well above his average. See if the rookie makes the first one. And a nice little swish on her part. Rookie showing she has some nerves of steel right now. She came over from Lebanon. Has not had a great season so far, but then again, with being on the bench behind such big scorers as Matthews, Slade, Najak, and Kellendine, it's not too surprising that she's not getting as many offensive looks. Converts the second. Dangerous pass. Bates was not ready for that ball. Luckily, Challenger corrals it in. DeHugo on the perimeter. Grega back up to St. Peter. A lot of passing on the perimeter, but they're not getting into the paint. Bates trying to do it herself. Challenger passing up to DeHugo. DeHugo, dangerous pass down low, but nice shot from St. Peter. Draws the foul and gets the bucket to fall. Chance to make it an and one. And good. Brings it to a 2-point game. Alaska 18, Lorraine 16. Alaska, besides those free throws, still on a scoring drought. Over to Norath. Norath for 3. No good. Shooting guard couldn't get it to fall. Grigo with the ball. Pass back over to Bates. Down low to Challenger in the post. Great height advantage. Needs to use it. Double teamed. Does a little turnaround. No good. Barakaw with the rebound. Even with a double team, he still had the height advantage. He could have used that to get a little bit closer, I think. But perhaps felt the pressure of his turnover earlier when he was double teamed. Nice little screen. Open shot. No good. St. Peter with the rebound. 3-on-3 fast break. Bates over to St. Peter for the quick shot. 10-footer is good from inside the paint. Score tied up again at 18 apiece with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Over to Barakaw. Passing back to McGarth. McGarth, dangerous cross-court pass to Norath. Norath for the shot. Nice 18-footer from her. Gives Alaska their lead again. Kingfisher can be a little bit hot or cold depending on the night. I don't mean that as a joke for being in Alaska. It's always cold here. Bates with the ball. Over to Challenger for 3. And that is a surprise from Challenger. Not a known three-point shooter. In fact, that's his first three-pointer of this season. I don't know if Lorraine's been focusing on their perimeter game, but very surprising to see Adi Morales making 2 on his part, and very, very unusual to see Challenger going for a 3. I guess it is a little unexpected for the defense. They weren't expecting him to take a 3, and they left him a little bit open on the perimeter. As we see Lorraine taking the first lead in a long time, 21-20. See what kind of adjustments Alaska makes now that they're seeing, well, I would say unusual players taking perimeter shots. If they're going to spread the defense out a little bit, they have to be careful, though. If they spread it too far out, they're just going to leave the post open for a lot more drives and post play from Melbourne. She's been quiet tonight so far, but she can be dangerous in the post. Whereas Lorraine seems to have figured out a little bit something about Alaska. They've managed to hold them back scoring-wise. Only 4 points in the last 5 minutes. We see some substitutions. Tsubasa and Pinhall coming in. And Mark coming in for Alaska. Norath with the ball in the perimeter. Going for a 3 in the shot clock early. No good. Bates with the rebound. 3-on-2 fast break. And she decides to slow it down, though. Pinhall, the rookie, on the perimeter. Dangerous crossing court to Griga. Griga blocked. Great block. Great defense by Alaska. Kellendine on the perimeter. Dangerous pass to Barakod. Barakod almost would have called out a charge, but Challenger gets called the blocking. Paws weren't set on the ground. Wasn't a shooting violation, though, so Alaska retained possession, but they don't get to go to the line. Only 46 seconds left in the first quarter. 21-20. Lorraine with the lead. Barakod. Dangerous cross-court pass to Norath again. Those are going to start falling apart if she's not careful. Huge block from Challenger. Great defense on his part. Was not fooled by the cross-court pass and was ready for the drive into the paint. Bates passing over to Tsubasa. Tsubasa to Pinhall. Pinhall trying to drive down low. Does a little fadeaway. No good. Challenger with a great offensive rebound. Spins around and puts it back up. And gets it to convert. Doing it on both ends of the floor right now. See Alaska going for the last second shot. They're going to hold the ball. Over to Kellendine. Steps in. And gets the, well, not a buzzer beater, but only 0.2 seconds left. And his paw was on the line, unfortunately. Only 2 points. And with that, the first quarter comes to a close. Lorraine 23, Alaska 22. Very close game so far. I guess highlights of our players to highlight in the first quarter. Adi Morales making 2 threes from the perimeter, 6 points, a fourth of the Lorraine scoring coming from him. Challenger Lorraine doing great on both ends, getting blocks and some baskets. The undrafted free agent from 2013, picked up by Lorraine in the offseason after 1 season with the Mayors. And on Alaska's side, the bench has not scored great so far. A lot of the scoring came from Najak when he was on the court for the first 6 minutes. I have to see how the starting line adjust now that they're back on the court. Both teams, I expect to bring all 5 back out. Have to see if Cliff Matthews starts taking more 3-pointers. He's only taken 2 so far tonight. Converted his first one, which was open, missed his second. We're going to have to also see a little bit more post pressure from Alaska. Constantidis and Okayu have not done much in the post play, which has just let Lorraine defend the perimeter much tighter than they would like. In fact, Lorraine's going to get the ball to start the second quarter. Plushpaw bringing the ball up the court. getting a little screen from Melbourne. Doesn't get very far, though, passing over to the rookie Magnano. Magnano backing down the post. Plushpaw was open. Doesn't see him, though. A little too focused on driving to the post. Goes up. Misses the shot, but gets the foul. And that's a little bit of a rookie mistake on her part. She had a wide open man and Plushpaw driving to the paint, and she had a little bit more of a court awareness. She could have passed over to the Pine Martin and gotten an easy basket. But she managed to draw the contact at least and get a chance to go to the line, extend the lead. Makes the first one, 2-point lead for Lorraine. They've been solid from the line today, minus Melbourne missing her one. And as I say that, she misses her second. Caster's curse. We see a little bit of a fast play from Matthews. Tried to get into the post, but had to back out. Back over to Mark, the only bench player left. Nice little move around Magnano and gets into the paint. And gets the basket, tying the game up at 24 apiece. Adi on the perimeter. Passing over to Magnano. Quick passes going around, and Adi Morales tries to drive down low. Dangerous cross-court pass to Sundos. These players are asking for a turnover. Sundos driving into the paint with only a second, blocked. Tries to get the last second shot up after the block, but the shot clock violation called. Great defense on Alaska's part. Forced her almost all the way back to the half-court line. Took her 2 seconds just to get back to shooting range, and there was almost no time left for her once she got there. Alaska with the ball. We see Okayu coming back in. Matthews on the perimeter. Sundos guarding close. Najak gets a little open. Goes for a 17-footer and nails it. Alaska with their lead again. They're going to have to play Najak tighter. He gets too open and steal from Okayu. Quick pause from the Rhinoceros. Okayu on the perimeter. Over to Matthews. Matthews, nice spin move. Drives into the paint, but blocked. Adi Morales with the rebound. Dangerous pass out of bounds over Sundos' head, and Adi is not happy with himself about that. A little bit too excited after that block. Tried to get it over to Sundos a little too fast, a little too high, and just flew out of bounds. Constantitis with the ball. Dangerous pass to Najak, but Najak is open. Magnano overplayed the defense, trying to get the interception. Missed it. And left an easy basket for Najak low in the post. Nice little play there from Plushpaw. Getting the veteran to bite on his pump fake. Gets to go to the line despite missing the shot. He has a chance for 2 points. And see, that's very textbook. Down low in the post. Guards aren't necessarily as comfortable down there. Go for a little pump fake, draw them in the air. Makes them look a little foolish. They're flying in the air, you're stuck on the ground. Just go up and draw the contact, and you have an easy shot for an and one. No good on his first, though. I see Sundos being subbed out for De Hugo. Lorraine going with a little bit more of a offensive-minded rotation right now. Might be dangerous depending on how De Hugo defends Matthews. Might be his chance to get a few baskets in. Plushpaw got on the second, brings it back to a 3-point game. 28-25. Alaska with the lead with 10 minutes left in the half. Matthews on the perimeter. Looks like there's a double screen going on for Najak for the open shot. No good from the top of the key. Melbourne grabs the rebound. Lorraine has to start utilizing Melbourne in the post. De Hugo on the perimeter, passing back over to Adi Morales. Plushpaw now. Back over to Melbourne. Melbourne drives in, takes a shot from the free throw line. No good. Matthews with the ball. Passing over to Najak. Najak gets the screen. Good defensive play, though. Doesn't let him get open. Constantitis almost goes for the shot. Decides to pass back to Matthews in the woods. Matthews has to go for the pull-up. No good. Melbourne, nice rebound. 1-on-2 fast break to Hugo. De Hugo still in the paint. Goes for the shot. No good. A little bit of an air ball there. And we see a 2-on-2 fast break. Stolen by Melbourne. A little bit lazily on the pass. Plushpaw going for his own little fast break. Court to court. Post, I should say, from one end to the other. Gets it the fall. Quick pass to Okayu. Huge block from Magnano. Great pause by, or not Magnano, by Melbourne. Great catch by Magnano. Magnano going for three. Melbourne blocked it straight to Magnano. Over to Najak for a quick shot. Bounces out though. Suddenly we see an uptick in the tempo from both teams. Nothing falling though. Gonna start to see the players wear out though at this high tempo of play. Magnano on the perimeter. Back over to De Hugo. De Hugo, quick pass to Melbourne. Great pass from him. Nice little backdoor. Gets around the defender and just lays it in. That's the kind of post play we need to see from Melbourne tonight. Najak with the ball. Drives into the post, getting double teamed. Slade's open from the perimeter. That's an easy three for him. That's the danger of double teaming a player on the Arctics. They have so many scorers that all you're going to do is just leave one open. I wish Lorraine would just trust their one-on-ones and let the post players provide the help. Don't let Slade, don't let Kellendine, and definitely don't let Matthews get open on the perimeter, or else it's going to be a bloodbath. And since the start of the second quarter, we've seen Alaska come out firing. Lorraine's a little bit slow, even though we saw a bit of turnovers from both teams. Lorraine on the losing side of it, though. Both teams with some good steals and good blocks, but a couple unforced errors coming out from Lorraine. Interesting to see what changes they make going out of this timeout. I expect to see some substitutions. Perhaps bring Sundos back in. De Hugo is a good scorer, but as a point guard, that's not his mindset, and Lorraine's offense has stalled a little bit. Actually, we're going to see some changes in the forward position. We see St. Peter come in, Hallsworth and Jordan McGarth again. Magnano with the ball, passing into St. Peter. See if they drew up a play specifically for her. Silly pass into the post, intercepted. Turnover again. Vixie with the ball. Over to Matthews. Matthews drives in, decides to pass out to Vixie. Vixie, wide open shot. Beautiful play from Matthews. Very high IQ to pass back out to the open fur behind him. Vixie had all day to take that shot. Alaska 33, Lorraine 29. Plushpaw gets the screen. Can't go anywhere though, stuck in the woods. Passing down to Melbourne, the post. Melbourne pushes in. Okayu forced to draw the foul. Forced to foul. And that's the veteran Melbourne for you. She might be 100 pounds mismatch, but her lanky body and speed allow her to get around the bigger rhinoceros, forcing him to foul her there. Even though no good on the first, still not a bad idea to foul her, honestly, when she gets into that post. Probably going to end up with less points that way, coming from the free throw line, than she would get from the post play. Second one is good, brings it to 30. Only a 3-point disadvantage for Lorraine. Slade bringing the ball up the court. Watch out for Matthews on the perimeter. Vixie passing down to Okayu. Matthews is open. Can't get the three to fall. Very dangerous, though. Not his night when it came to that shot. Just did not want to fall for him. Bounced off the back iron and front iron. St. Peter with the ball. Passing over to Hugo for three. Manages to tie the game up at 33 apiece. Back over to Matthews bringing the ball up the court. Matthews over to Vixie. Hallsworth, the sophomore player, over to Matthews. Wide open for three. No good again. Pass was a little off, and he had to get a good paw on it before he could take a shot. His defender had come over by then. He had an open shot for about a second. But the bad pass, unfortunately, made it too difficult to take a shot right away. St. Peter, nice work getting into the post against the Rhinoceros. But the Rhinoceros, dangerous pass, no good. Not able to be corralled in the rain, get the ball back. A little gift to them. Magnano backing down to the post. This one-on-one matchup decides to pass back to Melbourne, though. Only 5 seconds in the shot clock. Magnano over to Plushball, St. Peter. No good from St. Peter. I think Magnano could have taken the shot when she was in the post, but decided to clear it. And McGarth going for a three. Good shot from him. Again, Lorraine was not ready for that three. They've been leaving Arctic players wide open, and DeHugo almost had a chance to drive in, but the defense started to collapse on him. Calls for a play, St. Peter from the perimeter. Answers right back with her own three. 8 points tonight for her. 36 apiece with 4 minutes and some change, and Alaska decides to call timeout. They're not happy. Going to make an adjustment, I assume, based on the three starting to fall. It's always dangerous when you get into a three-point shooting contest with Alaska, though. Even though Matthews hasn't been converting them, it's only a matter of time. He is not a very streaky shooter. He's actually very consistent, and it's scarily consistent how he is. It'll be interesting to see how he decides to approach this, if he's going to just keep taking methodical shots or if he'll start trying to shoot through his slump. Either way, I think they need to bring Sundos back in. She's a little bit better of a defender compared to DeHugo, especially with her size advantage over Matthews. As for Alaska as a whole, with Najak out right now, their offense is a little weaker. It is Lorraine's chance to possibly get a lead, but now they're bringing their bench out. We have to see how their bench scores. We haven't seen anything from Edwin tonight. I was highlighting him earlier. Really, it's been St. Peter on the bench doing most of the scoring for Lorraine. Norath with the ball. Dangerous pass, intercepted by Challenger. Bad pass from him. Kellandine steals it and gets an easy layup. Kellandine was hiding behind the offensive player, was hiding behind Bates. Challenger didn't see him, and he just manages to swipe the ball with his paw. An easy layup before the offense even had a chance to realize they had lost the ball. See a nice little drive, nice little layup. Lorraine answers right back, 38 apiece. Norath on the perimeter off the double screen, nails the three. That's the 4th three in the last 2 minutes. Tsubasa with the ball. Up to Challenger into the post. Knocks his defender over but loses the ball. Could have gone up for a nice shot there, but can't hold him the ball and is forced to take a little bit of a fadeaway. No good. Norath, fast break, 3-on-3. Kellandine I don't know who he was passing to. Just ends up rolling out of bounds. I think he was expecting someone to be ready for a set play, and the player wasn't there, ready to go. We're going to see some substitutions. Sundos coming back in. Barakaw coming at small forward, and Mark back at center. Grigo with the ball. Into Bates. Bates up to Grigo. And over to Sundos. St. Peter in the post. Nice play from St. Peter, but no good. It was just a one-on-one. Couldn't win the matchup, though. Norath from three again. Rolls around. Could have fallen, but decides to just dribble out. They have to be careful with Norath. She is dangerous from the perimeter. And Caledine called it the reach-in foul. Speaking of Norath, she was acquired last season from free agency, the Kingfisher. Plays the swing for a position. Quite brightly colored on the court, in fact. Went undrafted originally in 2014, but was signed from Vegas for a year. Alaska picked her up in the 2015 offseason. Nice little shot from Penhall there. The rookie Warthog for Lorraine. Ball over to Barakaw. Trying to get a little screen. No good though. Goes for the little pump fake, forced to pass over to Mark. Mark gets into the perimeter, decides to go back to Caledine on the perimeter. Challenger though with the rebound off the miss. 3-on-3 fast break. I think Bates slows it down, stays at the perimeter. It's something I haven't seen from these teams. Penhall for three. No good. McGarth with a good rebound. Neither team has really utilized fast breaks this game. Norath passing down the Mark in the post. Mark, nice little turnaround hook shot. Right over Challenger. Dangerous pass down low, but Griga. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit of a fast break / lazy defense coming out from Alaska. They were not back there in time. Edwin was just standing there in the paint. Great little pass to him. Garth passing back to Norath. Norath left open for three again. And she has been on fire. That's 8 points from her. 2 for 5 from three-point range, but they've been leaving her open tonight. Griga over to Bates. 50 seconds left in the shot clock. Penhall on the perimeter. Spin move. Gets into the paint. Little layup. Draws the contact on Mark. No go on the shot, though. Gets to go to the line for two. As I was saying, a little surprised neither team is utilizing their speed for these fast breaks. You have Sundos and Plushpaw on Lorraine, both very quick players. And then for Alaska, obviously you have Matthews and Caledine. Sure, Slade has lost a step or two, but both Lynxes are still very fast. See Penhall going for his first shot. No good. Lorraine has kind of fallen apart from the free throw line. They've missed 3 or 4 now. We see Adi Morales coming back in for Lorraine and Constantitis for Alaska. Penhall a chance to bring it back to a 3-point game. And good on the second. Alaska going to bring the ball up with Caledine. Caledine drives into the paint. There's using his speed. He gets around his defender in an easy lane to the basket. A little layup to the post. Defense was not there to help in time. Adi going for a three. Okay, Adi, I see how it is. Adi Morales. We're going to have to create a new nickname for you if you keep shooting these threes tonight. Bates called with the personal foul. Running over the screen. Barakaw being subbed out from Najak. Probably going to go for that last second shot with Najak or Caledine. Ball into Najak. 5 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. Oh, but Najak, backcourt violation. He's focusing a little too much on staying away from the defender and backed into a corner. Paul stepped on the line. Silly turnover gives Lorraine the last shot of the game. Chance to bring it back to a, well, with the 3, they can bring it back to their lead. Pinhall with the ball, 6 seconds left. 4, going in for a layup, fouled by Najak, going to the line for 2. Perhaps not a bad call considering he went 1 for 2 just a minute ago. And perhaps a little frustration coming out from Najak, giving a silly turnover there. Gets the first to fall. Chance to tie it up at 48 apiece with the second. Only 3 seconds left in the half. Alaska's not going to have a lot of time to take their shot. And good on the second. Game tied, 48 apiece. Pass to Najak. Najak going for a half-court heave. No good. Air ball on his part. And with that, we'll see the half end with the score tied, 48 apiece. First half so far has been an interesting showcase. Adi Morales with his threes. St. Peter coming off the bench with 8 points. And Norath for Alaska being left wide open from 3. 8 points herself, I believe. We'll be heading into the stats, the halftime stats in a second. We'll go over all of them. For Alaska, Slade with only 5 points, 5 rebounds though, 2 assists. Okayu, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals on his part. Very quick pause considering the Rhino. No blocks though. Matthews, 6 points, 1 rebound, but doing his job as a point guard with 5 assists and a block. 2 for 6 shooting though. Najak, Alaska's scoring powerhouse this game. 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 5 for 10 shooting. Constantitis, no points so far, but 3 rebounds, an assist, and 2 blocks very early in the game. McGarth coming off the bench, 3 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Not too surprising how the scoring has broken up so far. Matthews, a little surprising, only going 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. But at the same time, it could very easily be 3 for 3 for him, so don't expect that to stay like that for the second half. Najak doing what he does best, scoring. Interesting to see if he's able to keep his pace up in the second half. And Slade on track for a double-double with rebounds and points. Little unusual for him, but he has had the ball bounce his way this time. Sometimes it happens for the shooting guards. The ball just happens to land in your paws. As we see with Kellendine, only 11 minutes on the floor, but 6 points and a steal and an assist, 3 for 4 shooting. Norath, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Second leading scorer for Alaska with only 9 minutes, 3 for 7. Bearcaw, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Her points only coming from the free throw line, though. Kong, only 6 minutes so far in the game, has a rebound to her name. Mark Guerrerina Jr., 4 points, 1 rebound, and a block. Might see him get some more minutes with how he's been playing. Only 6 minutes and 4 points, perfect from the field. And then the sophomore Vixie Hallsworth, 5 minutes, 2 points. Only taken 1 shot, but converted it. So far for Alaska, the bench-wise, they're actually scoring pretty well considering Kellendine and Norath, 14 points between them. If you take a look at the bench as a whole, almost 20 points between them, which is over half the scoring for Alaska. For Lorraine, we see Melbourne with already 8 rebounds and 3 blocks. Only 4 points, though. Definitely doing her work in the post, grabbing the rebounds and providing a solid defense. Adi Morales, 9 points, all from 3. 3 for 5 tonight. Not taking his shots often, but when he does, he's nailing them, at least from 3. A rebound and a block on his part. You know that a little bit of a silly turnover when passing the Sundos after that block. Plushpaw, 1 for 4 tonight. Only 3 points, 2 rebounds. Sundos only taken 1 shot so far, but 4 assists. Making sure to dish the ball out well. Magnano, the rookie, 3 for 5, 7 points, 1 rebound. And then Challenger, coming off the bench, doing a bit of everything. 5 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. 2 turnovers, though, on his part, which is going to hurt him a bit. But 2 for 4 shooting from the field, including a 3-pointer. Very unexpected from him, but again, if you're left that open, sometimes you just got to take the shot. Scoring-wise, a little surprised to see Sundos not on the board yet, but then again, that may be the design play with Matthews being much fast, almost as fast, if not faster than her. She can't utilize her speed to get into the post as much as she'd like. And we're going to switch over to the bench now. De Hugo, only 3 points from him. St. Peter doing most of the scoring from the bench for Lorraine. In 10 minutes, 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, and a steal on her part. De Hugo actually with 2 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Bates, a backup point guard, not really doing much in terms of scoring, only 2 assists and a rebound so far. Griga, 1 for 2 so far, 2 points and a rebound. Pinhall, the rookie, coming off the bench, 5 points in only 4 minutes. Most of them from the line, though, 3 or 4 from the free throw line. And Tsubasa with the 1 field goal, 2 points in 3 minutes, and a rebound. Lorraine is not scoring as much from the bench as Alaska is, so we'll have to see if the bench for Lorraine can step up, and if the Alaska starting lineup can step up outside of Najak. We see Magnano going for a 3. Bounces off the left and right iron. No good, though. Matthews bringing the ball up the court for Alaska. Over to Najak. Gets a little screen, open for 3. Beautiful little screen for him. 13 points for him now. Melbourne down the post, passing back up to Morales. Now Magnano gets down into the post. Goes up for the shot, no good. Tipped. Matthews manages to get a hold of the rebound, though, after being tipped by the Lorraine player. Matthews guarded close by Sundos. Slowly working his way into the paint. Plushpaw has to foul. Plushpaw was doing a good job slowing him down from getting into the paint, but had to foul him as he was about to lose him on the drive. Smart play from Matthews to get the shot up before the foul, though. Gets to go to the line for 2. Off the front iron, but good for the first one. 4-point lead. Chance to make it a 5-point lead for Alaska. Alaska seems to be able to get the leads, but they can't hold on to them. Lorraine keeps clawing their way back into it. And good for the second. Sundos with the ball for Lorraine. Getting a screen. No good, though. Dodged easily by Matthews. Dangerous pass down low. Akayu with another steal. That's 3 for him tonight. Matthews back over to Slade. Matthews getting a screen, was open on the perimeter for a second, but Slade a little late on passing. An offensive 3-second violation for the on Alaska Firestorm ball. Slade was a little late getting the ball to Matthews. Matthews had an open look from the perimeter, and it threw off the timing of the play. Got a 3-second violation called on the man in the post. Melbourne over to Plushpaw. Plushpaw back to Melbourne. Nano now. Backing down. Posting up. Gets into the paint, decides to pass to Sundos on the perimeter. Sundos gets a nice little screen, but has a bad matchup height-wise. No good. Melbourne with a nice offensive rebound. Plushpaw on the back out to Plushpaw on the perimeter. Melbourne could have probably put that back up. But I guess didn't feel comfortable with the big Rhino right behind her. Plushpaw, nice little screen from Melbourne. Well, Plushpaw ends up going for a layup. Fouled by Slade. It looked like the ball was going to grow, but it just bounces out. Chance for 2 from the line. Melbourne seems to be shying away from actually taking the shots tonight. It's a little surprising on her part, perhaps in being a little intimidated by the Rhinoceros. The Rhino is 325 pounds. Despite Melbourne having an inch advantage, she's giving up 100 pounds in the weight category. It's not easy to back down on a man that big. Plushpaw converts the first one. Chance to bring it back to a one-possession game. And despite Okayu's size, he's been very quick in the post. 3 steals tonight for him. Lorraine has to be careful when passing down low, or else the Rhino is just going to steal the ball again. And Plushpaw converts the second. 53-50. A little less than 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Matthews on the perimeter, getting the screen. Passes over to Constantitis. Goes for 3, no good. Great dunk putback from Okayu. Gets the offensive rebound and slams it in with authority. Melbourne was not there to box out. Magnano with the ball on the perimeter. You hear the Arctics fans cheering now. They're excited after that dunk. Magnano over to Plushpaw. Plushpaw only has 3 seconds to shoot. Leans back. Can't get the long 2 to fall. Matthews, quick 3-on-3 fast break. Najak back to Matthews. Over to Okayu. Back to Najak on the perimeter. Down to Constantitis. Finally a good shot from him. Wanted to rattle around before falling in. And the Reigns forced to call a timeout after that. Down 7, 57-50. Alaska pulling together a scoring drive, a scoring run. A huge dunk. A nice little 15-footer from Constantitis. Najak finally not having to be the main offensive force for Alaska. He has only made a 3 in the first minute of this quarter. The rest of the scoring has come from his teammates. I do expect to see some adjustments from Lorraine, possibly bringing in Challenger. Though Melbourne has been playing good, I think Challenger has been playing better from the center position with his blocks. He might be able to match up a bit better against the big Rhino, Okayu. Because letting him get that dunk was very, very poor defensive playing from Melbourne. There's a reason they teach you the fundamentals of boxing out. You do not want to give up those big dunks. That's what gets the momentum going for the other team. Quick pass to Melbourne down the post. Can't get any closer, though. Forced to pass back up to the perimeter. Magnano back over to Melbourne to Hugo. Brought in. Magnano back on the perimeter. Shot clock winding down. Decides to post up. Does a spin around jumper. No good. Constantitis with the rebound. Magnano, only 7 points tonight. 3 for 8. Matthews with the ball in the perimeter. Passing over to Okayu. Okayu deciding to dribble down close to the post. Running out of time, has to pass to Matthews. Matthews with the turning jumper. No good. Plushpaw gets the rebound. Had a chance for a 2-on-1 fast break, but slowed it down. Magnano, 2 feet out, goes for a shot, and Matthews is forced to foul with the height disadvantage he had. Magnano gets a chance to go to the line. And that's where the fast break really comes in. Those size mismatches are huge. Magnano had at least a 5-inch height advantage on Matthews, even though Akayu was coming up not too far behind. Actually, we're going to see both teams bring out their reserves for the most part. Matthews is going to stay in for Alaska. Magnano a chance to get it back to 5. And good. 57-52. Alaska with the lead. A little under 8 minutes left. McGarth with the ball. Passing back to Bearcall on the perimeter. She gets open. Gets the shooter's roll off the left side iron. Nice little fake to get open there. Got within 10 feet of the basket, and that's an easy shot for her at that range. Magnano going for 3. Bounces out, though. Might be forcing it there a little bit. We're still early in the shot clock. We see Bearcall with the ball again. Getting into the key. Back out to Vixie for 3. No good. Magnano with the rebound. Hugo with the ball. Back over to St. Peter. St. Peter needs to start scoring again. She's been the main scoring force for Lorraine when they have their bench in. They're playing her tight now. Magnano trying to back down again, laying the shot clock, forced to take a turnaround jumper. Again, no good. Poor shot selection on her, and we see a fast break. Bearcall, but blocked from behind, gets the offensive rebound and gets it back in. Great little play from her to have the presence of mind after being blocked to get that offensive rebound and go up again real quick before the defense has a chance to realize she has the ball again. Almost stolen. St. Peter going for 3, no good. Alaska with their biggest lead of the game, 9 points, going for another fast break. Finally, Matthews with the offensive rebound, back up to Constantitis. No good for the long 2. Finally, we're seeing some high tempo from Alaska. Nice fast breaks on their part, even though the last one did not go. Tsubasa with the ball on the perimeter. St. Peter for 3. There we go. Finally a basket from her. Brings it back to a 6-point lead. Alaska 61, Lorraine 55. A little over 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Matthews on the perimeter. Post is being opened up for him. Gets blocked, though. No time left in the shot clock. Has to take a desperate heave. No good. Grego with the rebound. And De Hugo with the ball now. Back over to Tsubasa. Magnano on the perimeter. Back to Tsubasa. Deep in the woods. De Hugo can't get the basket to fall. He's been cold tonight. We see Bearcott passing over to Vixie. Hallsworth playing from the perimeter, looking for the screen for Matthews to get open. Matthews for 3. There we go. That's his second 3 of the night. He's been a little cold shooting-wise, 3 for 10, but they better watch out. If he starts heating up, the score is going to balloon quickly. It's a 9-point lead for Alaska again. Magnano with the ball in the post. Trying to back down into the paint. Goes up for the jumper. No good, though. Her basket's not falling anymore. She's 0 for 6 this half, despite going 3 for 5 in the first. Bearcall for 3. No good. Was open for it, but just rattled out. Tsubasa bringing the ball up the court. Over to Magnano. Magnano needs to slow down her shooting. Alaska's getting a lead, but she gets a little open, steps inside the paint. There we go. Nice job leaning into her defender, able to squeak around her her defender and get open for that quick shot. Alaska decides to call timeout despite the momentum going their way. A little surprising to see them call a timeout here. perhaps they want to make an adjustment before Lorraine has a chance to make one themselves. But whatever Alaska decided to change in this halftime break is working right now. They have a 7-point lead over Lorraine Firestorm. The crowd's finally getting going on their part. They've been quiet for most of the game. See if there's maybe a substitution coming in for both teams. With a little over half of the third quarter gone, it's about that time that we see some of the starters possibly come back in. It'll be interesting to see how they handle Najak once he's back. Even though he hasn't taken many shots tonight, he can be dangerous. In fact, actually, we're going to see benching all their starters, get the bench in, get the starters rested up for the final push in the fourth quarter. Alaska driving into the paint, forced back though by Lorraine's defense. See a double screen. Forced to go to Constantitis though. Norath with the ball, drives into the paint, draws contact from St. Peter, can't get the basket to fall. Nice job though, going up against that bigger body, manages to maintain her balance and get the shot off. A very good shot off at least. Had a good chance for converting it, but she'll go to the line for two. And this is where the bench, Lorraine's bench, really needs to step up. Compared to Alaska, Alaska's been outscoring them. And they can't allow Alaska to build a bigger lead. They need to get it. They need to claw back, get it close. Let their starters do what they do best. We see Sundos actually coming back in for Lorraine. Lorraine cycling in their players, it seems. Norath gets both to fall. Back to a 9-point lead. So far, both are perfect from the free throw line. Challenger pump faking for a three. And Pinhall had a little bit of an opening for the lane, but Bates decides to go for three herself. No good. Lorraine can't go to the three game just yet. It's too early for them to go to it. Yes, if this lead persists, they need to go to it, but Constantitis going for a shot back down against Challenger, and Challenger fouls him. Another chance for first chance for the 10-point lead of the first double-digit lead of the game. But as I was saying, Lorraine can't start going to this do-or-die mentality of the three. They do have a chance to slowly claw it back. They have 15 minutes. If they keep missing their threes, they're just going to dig themselves a bigger hole. Constantitis, good on the first. First double-digit lead of the game goes to Alaska, 67-57. Remember, this game was tied at 48 at the half. Only 9 points for Lorraine so far, whereas Alaska might have a chance to... Yep, they convert that. That's 20 points so far in this quarter. Double the score of what Lorraine has been able to put up on the board. Bates on the perimeter. Drives in on her own, gets fouled by Kellendine. Good isolation play on her part. If she got by Kellendine, she would have had an open lane to the basket. That's actually been the one place that Lorraine has been consistent tonight, besides at least getting point-wise. Their first half was a little rocky when it came to Melbourne at the line. And we see Bates convert the first. Could bring it back to a 9-point game. And good on the second. And actually, they're going to pull out the full court press now, Lorraine. It's dangerous. It leaves McGarth open. No good, though. That was an easy layup for him. The full court press fell apart. The defense was not ready for the quick passes up the court. Bates over to St. Peter. St. Peter had a good height advantage. Could have driven to the paint, but we see them switch. Bates Nice little move on her part. Gets around the bigger defender and lays in. Nice little layup. And Lorraine decides not to risk a full court press again after nearly giving up an easy layup. It's back to a 7-point game. Norath driving in. She's still on fire. Another basket for her. Kingfisher is carrying the Arctic's bench when it comes to scoring, and ooh, not happy with that pass. St. Peter threw a little bit too much of a bullet pass. It was a little bit off, and we see the starting lineup come in now for both teams for the most part. Norath will be kept in at shooting guard. No surprise there. With how she's been shooting, we might see her in the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter if she keeps this up, depending on how close the game gets. Norath takes a step back, and as I say that, she takes a little bit of a silly shot early in the shot clock. We see Adi Morales back in, over to Melbourne. Sundos down the challenger, tries to spin in, no good though. Alaska setting up an isolation play. Sundos charged with the blocking foul though. Good job on Najak to draw the penalty there. Won't go the line though. It was not a shooting foul and they are not in the bonus yet. Actually, compared to the last sports, then this is a very tame fouling game compared to the and one fest that we saw. Calendine on the perimeter. Gets a nice little screen. Good job dodging it though, but gets in the paint. Decides to go up despite 3 defenders being there. Draws contact against Sundos. Sundos could have potentially just blocked that, but got a little too aggressive going up for it. She had help there in the post. Like I said, there were 3 defenders there. Good on the first. Back to a double-digit lead. We see Slade come back in for Norath. And good for the second. We continue to see perfect from both teams from the free throw line this second half. Only a minute left in the third quarter. 72-61. Alaska with the lead. Plushpaw with the ball on the perimeter. Can't get into the post. Finally being able to back down a bit. About 5 feet out, decides to pass back to Adi Morales over to Melbourne. Plushpaw, only 2 seconds, forced to take a 3. Nice last second shot from him. He spent a lot of time trying to get into the post, backing down, but ended up just falling back to the perimeter for an open shot. Nice little screen. Calendine gets a matchup advantage. Calls for another screen. Slade on the perimeter. Got to take a last second 3. No good. That was deep from the woods. Sundos bringing the ball up the court fast over to Adi. Plushpaw now back on the perimeter. Playing a little isolation. If he gets by his defender, he has an open lane to the basket. Probably going to take a last second shot though with only 6 seconds left. Gets by his defender. Nice matchup against Calendine. Gets the foul as well. And the basket. Chance for an and one. Can bring this game back to a 5-point game as the third quarter expires. Nice job from him maintaining possession of the ball as he squeaks by his defender. Calendine forced to come over and can't help but cause contact when he goes up to block. And just like that, 72-67, Lorraine down by 5. Najak again going for a half-court heave. No good. See the third quarter come to an end with a 5-point lead for Alaska. 72, Lorraine 67. Alaska coming out on fire. Both teams started tied at 48, but we see Alaska's managed to get themselves a 5-point lead here. Mostly on the back of their offense, their starting lineup and Norath, whereas Lorraine came down to the end of Plushpaw. Plushpaw scoring 6 points in the last 2 Lorraine possessions to give them a chance at this game again. You see Matthews bring the ball up the court to start the fourth quarter. Both teams bring out their starting lineup again. Over to Najak for a quick shot. No good. Have to see if he's able to reignite that fire he had earlier. He hasn't taken many shots besides a 3 to start the second half. Melbourne going for a shot from the top of the key. No good. Matthews with another rebound. Passed over to Slade. Back up to Okayu. Over to Matthews again. Matthews trying to get by Sundos, but Sundos is playing it too close. Backs up, takes a jumper. No good. Sorry, it's Plushpaw with the good defense on him. Sundos gets the rebound. Dangerous pass to Magnano, but nice play from both of them. That was a very tight window to send that pass. And great job from Magnano getting it up quickly before the defense had a chance to realize where the ball had landed. Najak gets a nice little screen, goes up for the jumper, forces a little bit over Melbourne, but great shot from him. Keeps it a 5-point game. Alaska shot the ball 4 more times than Lorraine. We can see that reflected in the score. Sundos with the ball on the perimeter. Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Gonna have to get a screen and go for a shot quick. No good. Off the iron. Melbourne with a nice offensive rebound and a great putback from her. Just turns around and hooks it in. That's the kind of offense I expected to see from her in the first half. Back to a 3-point game for Alaska. Matthews takes it himself. No good. Melbourne, good rebound. Boxes out 2 Arctic players to get it. That's 12 rebounds for her so far tonight. Over to Plushpaw. Plushpaw backing down. Manages to get within close range. Nice little close shot from him over Najak. Najak not expecting to have to play a post game against the shooting guard. Najak gets by a defender. Adi Morales forced to foul. We'll get to see Najak go to the line for 2 now. The game was brought back to a 1-point game, 74-73, but he has a chance to extend it again to 3 points. See if we can maintain this perfect shooting from the free throw line for both teams. We're seeing a bit of an up-tempo from Lorraine now. Even though a couple of their shots are still waiting until the last second, they are running plays. Alaska's just putting a stop to them, forcing them to make adjustments. And we see Plushpaw actually being subbed out for DeHugo. A little surprising, but perhaps they're looking to give Plushpaw a quick break for the last couple minutes of the game. He was very key in that third quarter last-minute run to bring the game close. So perhaps they're hoping he'll be able to do it again in the fourth should they not maintain, be able to gain a lead on Alaska. And we see finally the first miss of the half from the free throw line. Alaska only up by 2 now. Sundos with the ball. Or DeHugo with the ball, passing over to Sundos. Sundos to Adi Morales. Passing back up to Melbourne. Melbourne tries to drive into the paint, gets within 2 feet of the rim. No good, but good job for her bullying the Rhino from the top of the key into the paint all the way down to the basket. Bad pass coming out from Slade, though. Slipped out of his paw and just flew out of bounds. Lorraine gets the ball back. Chance to tie the game up again. Sundos bringing the ball up the court for the Firestorm. Passing over to the rookie Magnano. She gets some good positional advantage. Goes for a shot. There we go. I think that's her first or second basket since the start of the half. She went 0 for 6 to start. Hopefully the time on the bench, the coach got a chance to talk with her about what she's doing wrong, and she can make an adjustment. Good play from her there. 15 points tonight for her. Pass over to Najak. Najak going for a nice shot. No good, though. DeHugo gets the rebound. Sundos bringing the ball up the court. Forced to pick up the ball from the good defense. Passes down to Melbourne. Melbourne for a quick turnaround shot for some reason. But you know what? She makes it. I'll give it to her. Lorain with her first lead in a long time. 77-75 Alaska. A little under 8 minutes left in that game. Quick pass down the Slade in the paint. Nice little layup from him. The defense was not there. Bit of a dangerous pass, but threaded the needle there. Good pass and good layup from Slade. Magnano backing down the post again, trying to answer back. Draws the foul. Najak, that's his third personal. We'll see Magnano go for the line. Game's tied 77 apiece. The score is 77, 7 minutes left. 34 seconds, 7, and 77 for Alaska. I hope some of you may have wish out there. 7-7, 7-7, 7-7. I'm sure Magnano's wishing these baskets fall. Pressure's on the rookie. First one no good, off the front iron. This is where the real tests for the rookies are going to come in. Fourth quarter, pressure starts mounting. Both teams don't have a winning record right now. It's easy to make your shots when you're winning. It's a lot harder to make them when you're losing. Good on the second. Gives Lorain a 1-point lead again. Matthews with the spin move, drives down to the paint. Blocked, though, by Melbourne. Okayu, good pause, getting the rebound. Bad pass, though. That's going to be a backcourt violation, but it rolls out of bounds, actually. So great block from Melbourne. Great job from Okayu getting that block back, but a little too rushed to get the ball passed out to his player. Ends up rolling all the way up the court to their side and out of bounds. Sundos left open, just drives in, a little teardrop. That's a 13-5 run in the last 4 minutes for Lorain. Alaska needs to call a timeout, in my opinion. Their defense is falling apart a little bit here, losing focus. We'll see a double screen coming out. Najak open from 3. Good job from him. Great design play. You saw two of his teammates giving him a screen in the paint. And we see Lorain actually calling a timeout. Like I was saying, great play from Alaska. It's a design play to get Najak open from the perimeter. Two players giving a screen in the paint makes it extremely difficult for the rotation to occur between who gets caught from the screen, who doesn't. Great job from Matthews with the pass as well. Game tied back at 80. Lorain, I'm not sure if calling a timeout was the best idea here. They had the momentum. Perhaps they're going to drop a few plays to try and keep this momentum going, but this gives Alaska a chance to sit and talk about what changes they need to make on their defense, because they've been a little sloppy defending against the post play. We just saw Sundos get wide open in the post after an inbound pass. And we've seen Magnano being able to get down low in the post and get some easy baskets from her. She had been cold, but now she's starting to heat up again. They can't let the rookie make those kind of easy baskets, especially with only a little under 7 minutes left in this game and the game's tied up. Lorain on the inbound. Over to Sundos. Sundos goes for a pump fake. Quick pass to DeHugo. DeHugo, no good. Was open, but Okayu gets the rebound. Matthews on the perimeter. Hasn't been much of an offensive threat, but decides to go for a 3 off the screen, off the back iron. Not a bad shot from him. especially when the defense is not fighting through the screens. Sundos past to Melbourne off the screen. A nice give and go off the screen. Takes the screen, lets Melbourne drive down to the paint, passes open to the open fur. Slade now with the ball on the perimeter. Melbourne coming alive in the second half. 10 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double so far tonight. We see Matthew driving into the paint. Considis open. No good, though, but Slade with a great offensive rebound. Melbourne fouls him when he goes up for the putback. Smart play from the veteran. Was ready for that offensive rebound. He knew where the shot was coming from and where it was likely to bounce if he missed. Good on the first. Chance to tie it back up at 82 apiece. It might come down to stamina on these two teams. The tempo has definitely picked up since the first half. Even though I think both teams do have an advantage in the sense they can sub their shooting guards out. No go on the second. Lorraine maintains a 1-point lead. Sundos with the ball at the top of the perimeter. Over to Adi Morales. He's been quiet this half. Speaking of which, he's open, but DeHugo can't get the pass over to him. Magnano going for a long two. Bounces in and out. Constantius with the rebound. And Matthews bringing the ball up the court. Gets a nice screen. Passes over to Slade, who's open on the perimeter. That's easy for him. 3 points from the veteran. 11 points tonight total. 6 rebounds. Alaska with the lead again, 84-82. Only a little bit more than 5 minutes left in the game. Lorraine passing over to Melbourne. Melbourne steps into it. Nice 9-footer from inside the paint. It's always nice to see them actually take the time to set up their shot and step into it. That's when you can tell they have confidence in their shot. They're not falling away or leaning away. Stepping into it with some authority. See Slade with the ball on the perimeter. Gets a little screen. Passes over to Matthews. Foot inside the 2. There we go from him. Had he had his right paw behind the line, it would have been for 3, but I think he'll take it at this point. 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Adi Morales pump fakes, drives in. Nice little play from him. He hasn't scored from the post yet. Managed to fake his defender out a little bit with his pump fake. Made him hesitate and get into the post easily. Tied at 86. Nice little shot from Matthews. That's 2 quick baskets for him. He might be heating up here in the closing minutes of the game. 88-86. Only 4 minutes left. Pass over to Adi Morales. Back to Magnano on the perimeter. Sundos with the ball. Over to DeHugo. DeHugo, bad pass, intercepted. Najak with the ball. Driving in fast on a fast break, no good. Melbourne gets the rebound over Matthews, or Slade. DeHugo open from the perimeter. Can't get the 3 to fall, though. Adi Morales, great offensive rebound on his part. Over 2 defenders, but he did have the height advantage there. Sundos gets the screen from Melbourne. Melbourne got the ball, but passed back to Magnano. Magnano starts backing down. Spins around for the jumper, no good. Not the best shot to take, and we see a 2-on-2 fast break from Alaska. Okayu on the perimeter. Passing over to Najak. Gets a screen, open 3. And again, he cannot be silenced. 3 for 4 this half from three-pointer. That's the majority of his points coming from the three-point line. Lorraine is not fighting through those screens. They are leaving him open. It is a dangerous play to not have a counter for right now. Sundos with the ball. Only 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Nice little spin move. Gets close to the basket. Misses, but Melbourne with the rebound and the putback. Again, finally this half we've seen some life come out of the Minks. Multiple offensive rebounds and multiple putbacks. The veteran for Lorraine might come down to her in the final minutes, depending on if Lorraine cannot get these baskets to fall, Magnano is going cold again, and we haven't seen much from De Hugo, Plushpaw, or Sundos. In fact, St. Peter and Adi Morales are probably the highest scorers so far for Lorraine. And as we've seen, Alaska getting some fire under their seats, I guess you could say. Matthews finally making some shots. 2 quick baskets from him, and of course, can't help but talk about Najak. 12 points in this half alone, 10 points in the first, 3 for 4 from three-point range. He is making a case. He is dragging Alaska towards the finish line right now. We'll have to see if Lorraine made an adjustment here, because they can't afford to keep letting Otis get these shots off, because he's making every single one of them. See Slade with the ball. Quick pass to Najak. No good, but you see where Alaska's going. They're going to keep going to the bat-eared fox. Quick pass to Adi for 3. Adi Morales, no good. Melbourne almost had the offensive rebound, though. We see a little bit of a fast break coming out. Slade, though, with the ball. Najak. He drives into the paint. No good. Perhaps Alaska decided to say, just give the ball to Najak and let him do the work. But it's a 3-point game still for Alaska. 91-88. Plushpaw now with the ball in the post. Gets around his defender. Looked like it was good, but decides to bounce out. That's heartbreaking. That looked like it was going to go in. Najak with the ball again. Goes for another quick shot. No good. He's forcing it now. We see Morales with the ball, passing over to Sundos, back to Plushpaw. Plushpaw, they're going to make him do the work in the post. He loses the ball, but good attention by Adi to get the loose ball off the floor. Sundos needs to pass or take a last-second shot. No good. Only a minute left, still a 3-point game. Neither team has been able to score. Michelle Sundos, only 2 points so far tonight. Very quiet. We see another shot from Najak, but blocked. Lorraine, this would be a good time for a 3. Plushpaw on the perimeter. Looks like he's trying to set up in isolation. Gets by his defender, over to Magnano for 3. No good. That was the shot they needed to make. Now they're going to have to foul, probably. It's a one-possession game, but they have to keep Najak from scoring here. Stolen from Melbourne. Could have had a fast break to Magnano, but decides to slow it down. Go for the safer play, and Adi passing over to Plushpaw. Looks like they're relying on Plushpaw to get these points. Kellendown with the blocking foul, his 4th of the game. Not the bonus yet. It's close, though. They need to be careful. Only 15 seconds left. Only 1 second separates the shot clock and game clock. We might see a last-second 3 come out from Lorraine at this point. I would not be surprised, as we see a timeout called, if they're drawing up a play. We might see a substitution, possibly bring in Edwin. Maybe move Adi over to small forward, get as much of the 3-point shooting team as they can out on the floor. Perhaps even see De Hugo come in for Sundos. We'll have to see what they decide to do, though. As for Alaska, they're almost certainly talking about what they're going to do to stop the shot. They cannot let them get a 3-pointer in. I don't know if they can do an overtime. Having a double-digit lead and letting it slip is heartbreaking. If Lorraine manages to tie the game, it's in their favor. The momentum's on their side at that point. And we see the teams getting ready to come back on the floor. Like I said, 15.6 seconds left on the game clock, 14 on the shot clock. We'll likely see a last-second shot unless Lorraine decides to go fast with a 2-pointer. But then they'll have to steal the ball or foul and hope they miss the free throw. See Magnano inbounding the ball. Over to Plushpaw on the perimeter. Sundos. Back over to Plushpaw. Plushpaw playing at the perimeter, going for his 3. No good, though. They managed to get the rebound, and they're forced to foul, only 4.6 seconds left. They left just enough time for a rebound rather than relying solely on the three. However, it's going to cost them, and actually, that looked like a flagrant one because he's going to the line for one. That is not. I'll have to look at the replay of that, but that was not considered a foul, a normal foul at least. It was considered a flagrant foul. He'll get one flagrant two. Okay, now I am confused. This is very unusual because Alaska's going to retain possession, which is the heartbreaker here. They get 2 free throws and possession of the ball when there's a flagrant foul. Perhaps Plush Paul was a little too rough. Perhaps some emotion getting into that foul. See Najak with the ball. 5-point lead. Reach-in foul from Sundos. Only 1 second left. It's a little late. Doesn't really matter at this point with that flagrant call and the chance to go to the line for two plus possession. Pretty much killed the game right there. We'll see if Najak can add to his total. Interesting to see who the player of the game will be tonight. Kellendine add to his total. Najak, obviously the scoring powerhouse of Alaska, but there were a number of key role players, such as Slade with his points and rebounds, despite being a shooting guard. Misses the second. Quick timeout from Lorain, even though it's a 6-point game, only 0.9 seconds left. The game's pretty much over. You can already see the fans starting to get up and leave, applauding their home team, managing to hang on for the win. As I was saying, role players like Slade tonight, where he got the key points when they needed it, and his rebounding was spot on tonight. Then you have Matthews doing a bit of everything, despite being poor from the field goal. Definitely leading the team in assists, and even managed to pull down some rebounds himself. Acknowledge Sundos for a quick buzzer-beating shot. No good, though. Final score, 94 Alaska, 88 Lorain. See Alaska get another win under their belt. Fortunately for Lorain, another loss for them. They, too, have to fight through a tough division. We'll have to see how the rest of the season goes for them. I think they're still trying to figure out their lineup a little bit. Putting a rookie in tonight was perhaps an experiment on their part, seeing how Danica does. As we see the player of the game, let's see who it is. And a little bit of a surprise, they go with Cliff Matthews. Sure, he had 15 points, but I guess the assist and rebound on his part really pushed him over Najak. And, I mean, he did a bit of everything. Like I said, he even got a block, which is a little unusual for a point guard per se. He almost had a triple-double. Honestly, 2 assists short from a dub-dub and 3 assists short from or 3 rebounds short from a triple. As we see, Slade, 13 points, 8 rebounds on his part. 3 from 6 from the field goal, but 5 for 6 from the free throw, 3 assists. Constantinos, 4 points, 7 rebounds, 2 big blocks, managed to not clock any more in after his early ones in the first quarter. Okayu, 4 steals, very, very quick pause from him down low in the post. 9 rebounds, only 4 points though. Najak, 9 for 22 from the field though, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Cliff Matthews ended up finishing 5 for 16 with 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, and a block. I can see why they ended up going with him. Najak's field goal rating dropped quite a bit in the last couple minutes as he started forcing it. He basically took 4 shots that were a little rushed, but they were playing through him at the time, it seemed. McGarth Alidas, 3 points, 4 rebounds, an assist and a steal. Okay showing from him, limited minutes overall. Nice 3 from him. Definitely started that 3-point trend we saw at the time. And just looking over, good job from the free throw line for the team, or at least the starting lineup, only missing 3 of their free throws, but managing to get 11 points from the free throw line itself. That made all the difference in the end. And teams will have to be careful of Akayu. He's showing that even though he's a big rhino, he has the quick pause for the post play. They're going to be extremely careful passing down low into the post, especially those cross-court passes we saw both teams trying to get away with. Moving over to the bench now, Calendine, 9 points, an assist and a steal, 3 for 4 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Norath, big score from the bench, 12 points, 4 for 9. They kept leaving her open and never really made the adjustment. 2 rebounds. Vixie Hallsworth only came in for 11 minutes, 2 points, a rebound, and an assist. Bearclaw, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 for 7 though. A couple offensive rebounds, in fact. That was the big shining light for her tonight, getting down low in the post and getting those missed shots back, especially some of her own. Kong, only 1 rebound in her 6 minutes, and Mark Garena Jr., 4 points, a rebound, and a block. And again, great job from the free throw line from this from bench as well, only missing 1 of their free throws amongst them. So in other words, only 4 missed free throws in total from the Arctics tonight. I'll have to see when we go over to the Lorraine team, their free throws, because that may have made the difference in the end. We see Magnano leading the team in scoring at 16 points, 5 rebounds, but 6 for 17 shooting, almost 33% from the field goal range. 5 rebounds and an assist. Shot a little bit too much tonight, in my opinion. And I guess I could say the same for Sundos. Only 1 for 7. 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 9 assists. A little bit shy at times with shooting, but then forcing it at other times. Melbourne, 14 points, 17 rebounds, though, for her. The Mink really was pulling down the boards tonight. 3 offensive rebounds. 4 big blocks from her, too. Great from the field. Wish she had played like she did in the second half throughout the whole game. Might have been the game changer. Adi Morales, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, though. Good blocks from him. Shot above 50% and 75% from the three-point line. Plushpaw, 13 points, 4 rebounds. A good showing from him tonight. De Hugo, not as great, only 1 for 6, 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. The line was a little cold tonight in Alaska. St. Peter, the big star of the bench tonight for Lorraine, 11 points, matched up well against Norath when it came to scoring. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, did a bit of everything. Challenger, 5 points, 3 rebounds, a bit of everything, assist, a steal, and a block. 2 offensive rebounds on his part. Grega, only 2 points in his 12 minutes, didn't really take a 3, and 2 rebounds himself. Bates, the backup point guard, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Subasa, in her 7 minutes, managed to get 1 for 1, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. And then the rookie Penhall, swing for only 5 points in his 6 minutes and an assist. The bench did pretty good in terms of free throws, only missing 1, whereas earlier, looking at the starting lineup, quite a few more misses. In the end, it did not make a huge difference in terms of the score. It would have been, if they had made every single one, it only would have been like a 3-point. But the fact that the Arctics went to the free throw line so much more than the Lorraine Firestorm made the difference, I think. Just for example, just in the first quarter, the Arctics went twice as much as they did. So we see Lorraine actually managed to squeak by the first quarter with a 1-point lead. Even though in the second quarter, it really was the bench for the Arctics. 19 of their 26 points came from the bench. And Lorraine managed to prevent fouling there. And they went to the line 10 times. And again, going into the second quarter, or second half, again, the bench for the Arctics carried them. 10 of their 24 points were from the bench. And it wasn't until the final quarter that we saw the starting lineup really get their points for both teams. 0 points from the bench from Lorraine and only 1 point from Alaska. And with that, that's the end of this Sports Den. A little bit of a surprise seeing how close Lorraine managed to keep it at times despite being down by 11 at one point. And the matchups ended up going kind of how I expected. We saw Najak really dominating over his mark. Magnano just was not able to counter him effectively. Magnano seemed to try and push back on her own, and she definitely scored a lot, but her shooting was a bit lower than I would like to have seen. The point guard matchup ended up being a little iffy. We saw Sundos not really scoring a ton, and Cliff Matthews actually coming out cold, but being a team player, getting the offensive rebounds, getting the assist. So good win from the Arctics. Tough fought considering they almost gave it up there after that 11-point lead. And our next sports din will be not till the new year, January 8th. We will see Albany traveling to the Moonshiners. And hopefully I won't be so alone in the booth next time. I've been Ryan Eastman, and good night.